a lot of injuries, but the offense still has lots of weapons. And you've been in the offense for 5-6 years. You're making nice throws down the field, and yet the offense really isn't clicking. How do you explain that?
I think you could go a number of different directions with that, but I don't know. I think it starts with us as players. We just got to execute better. And it sounds pretty cliche, but I mean, there were some easy plays we left out there on Sunday that we should have made, we've made in the past, and it's just one of those things, We just got to be on the same page, do the little things in practice that transfer over to the game. I think that plays a big part of it.
Is there any more pressure on the offense with all the defensive injuries?
I think there's a responsibility. I don't know about pressure, but just a responsibility that whenever, and that's what made us so good in the past year. Whenever one part of the team goes down, the other part step up, special teams, offense, defense, whatever it is. And, we've done that a lot in the past, and we got to keep doing that. And it'll be on us, to do that.
Piggybacking off that, it seems like you guys have been playing complementary offense for years. Like, do you feel now that it's time to sort of take the lead?
You don't want to get too far away from complementary football. That's winning football, and that's won us a lot of games here. So I think we have to be careful with that. But there's a time and place. We, like this past Sunday, we needed to step up as an offense, put more points on the board. We even spotted them 7 points on the one play. So there's a lot of just little mistakes like that we need to fix.
Like considering the caliber of the offense of the opposition, I know you can't really worry about that. You don't play against them, but to be averaging, I think you guys are averaging 20.3 points a game, and it's one of the lowest it's been here in a long time. And it's only a 6-game sample. I get that, but do you see the pieces coming together? Every week you've talked about being on the same page. Is it getting closer?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think you see it at practice too. There's just certain plays where there's a trust factor. I think that plays a big part in any offense. Just between the quarterback and the skill guys, there's a trust factor that it's not just given either. You got to earn that stuff. You got to earn it in here, in the locker room, out on the field, away from the facility, whatever you do. But yeah, I think there's a trust factor that we're moving in the right direction. We just need to make that happen quicker rather than later.
It's National Tight Ends Day. What have you
Is
seen
it?
George?
There we go.
On Sunday, facing Kelsey. Have you seen George different? And we're waiting for that big George game this season. Could that happen?
George is always different, man, in the best way too. George is always amped up at practice, ready to roll. He's the energy guy for us. He showed that on Sunday. He made some plays where you just get the ball in his hands and he's going to run some people over, and the whole sideline's going to feel it. So we try to get him the ball a little bit on Sunday, especially because it's National Tight Ends Day, obviously. But yeah, whatever we can to get him going.
The touchdown pass to Ayuk looked like a really good route, and then you had the deep throw to Ayuk. That was a nice throw, and he was wide open, but it didn't count. How good is he playing right now?
Real well. There's still a little ways to go for him, for all of us. But he's been showing some stuff. That's kind of what I was talking about, the trust factor. Just BA, when you put it on film in practice and then you do it in the game too, as a quarterback, that's the ultimate trust I could have in you. And that route you're talking about on the touchdown, he routed the dude. Yeah, and that's a good corner too. 24 is a good player, and BA just put him on skates and exploded out of it. But yeah, I think there's a trust factor that he's earned every day, and it's not just from one day of being really good or something like that. It's every day putting in the work, being consistent and reliable, and good things happen.
I remember a few years ago, you and Emmanuel Sanders sort of had that trust factor right away. Is that just because he was a vet and had been through some of the same things as you?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go into it. He came in, he kind of knew the offense from his Denver days, so there was, picked it up real quick, and he was just a natural route runner. Where BA is different. He's long, lanky. He's not built like most receivers, and that's a good thing too. He could do some things that you don't really see every day from normal receivers, but it's just the trust factor. It's coming and it's moving in the right direction. He's on the right track.
Thinking back, do you do to the Super Bowl?
A little bit. You definitely watch it. That is the last time we played these guys, in a real game, and so I think there is some merit to it, but it was a pretty long time ago too. So you got to be careful with that.
If you watch, I guess this week, if you're watching that film and looking at schematics, how do you remove the emotion out of it while you're watching it?
I don't know. I think you just kind of you have to. I think is a big part of it. Once you're watching the film, though, the emotions hit right away. But once you kind of get into it and you're kind of thinking about the game plan, the emotions kind of just fade away a little bit. So there's obviously deep down it's still there, but you just got to move on.
Did you rewatch rewatch it at all before this week, after the game?
The Super Bowl? I mean, way back. Yeah, way back one. Yeah. It was a long time ago since the last time I seen it. But, yeah, I had to rewatch it this week. It's always tough, but, it was good for us.
Does it motivate you at all, rewatching it?
It's a different type of motivation. I think, that motivation comes and goes. Those feelings come and go, and this season's this season now. So it's just a little different.
I'm sorry. At least one more Super Bowl question. Does the pain of that game, has that lessened over time?
Yeah, definitely. I think everything heals with time. You still have that feeling inside, but it's just different.
Have you had any conversations with Mooney talking about the defense, the Chiefs defense, what he knows?
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, any one-on-ones with him to have some intel on the defense?
Yeah. We were talking, literally throughout this whole week, just little simple things, coverage talk, whatever. But, yeah, he's been awesome with that. He's a really smart dude.
Just one thing. What do you think would be the main difference so far between the Panthers and the Rams game against the Falcons game?
The biggest difference? I think each week in this season, every week's going to be different. Your opponent's different. How your team is, what you're dealing with as a team is going to be different. But I think just, I don't know, it's hard to point to one thing specifically on that. It's over 3 weeks. Everything's going to change throughout the offense, defense, game plan. So, yeah, just about everything.
When the schedule comes out, it's easy to look to this game, 49ers and Chiefs. Do you do the same thing? Do you look at, either before the season or even this week, go, wow, this is really going to be a test and kind of show us what kind of team we have?
Yeah, I think every week is, I know that sounds cliche, but every week is hard in this league, man. It's every opponent you play is going to be difficult. The coaches are good in this league. They're going to scheme you up and make you, do things that you're not comfortable with doing or try to make you, have to attack them in different ways. Yeah, I think every week's difficult in this league. You just got to come ready, and that's the consistency and reliability that you have to have as a player. And it ain't easy, but that's why not everyone does it. All right. Thanks, guys.